Hi, my name is Savontai.
I'm Kat.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Daisy.
So we're students from the Education 301 class, Community Education, and today we're going to be having a conversation in honor of Dr. King. Our first topic that we're going to talk about is his I Have a Dream speech, and we're going to talk about whether or not his dream was realized. So my personal opinion, I want to say that his dream was realized on, stop it. My personal opinion, I want to say that his dream was realized on a legal front. Legally, all citizens of the United States, and I really do want to emphasize the word citizen, are equal. However, I believe that socially and politically, they are not. There is still a huge ignorance and like active kind of like fleeing from the fact that racism is everywhere and all the time. And then I also believe that there is a lack of mobilization for white folks to be able to let go of some of the property and privilege that is both associated with their whiteness and is gained over hundreds of years of oppressive behavior.
So I agree with what you said about that racism is everywhere, and I think that now with like the internet, everyone is like hiding behind the screen and just being racist to everybody, and especially like if a video goes viral, they're just making fun of that person and doing some like saying some racist jokes, but they don't think about the effects that it can have on that person, especially if it's been shared many times. People can they can commit suicide and it can affect them long term.
I agree. In so many ways, racism hasn't been eradicated like the post-racial America that we wish we lived in. Racism's just evolved to use new tools to oppress others in less obvious ways.
Absolutely. I think a big part of that is that, like you guys all said, racism is still very vibrant in our country, and the sad thing is that the only time that people really take note or recognize it is when it's very overt and in your face. They don't pay attention to the fact that there's still a lot of systemic racism in place that is not helping us as a country move forward. We are still very much so divided, and we see that even more now with the president that we have.
I agree, and I think in this time with the president that we do have, there's been a sense that, oh, racism has come back, but it's been here all along.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting, like, to hear, like you say, systemic racism, because racism isn't typically acknowledged in the system, right? People kind of look at life and they go, oh, Dr. King's dream is achieved because, like, look, black people can live next to white people, but I think we all live near each other. We don't live with each other. And so this idea of, like, integration has definitely been appropriated and misused and misquoted.
I agree.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good thing to talk about in terms of this class, because the class is education and community engagement, and I think that that's a big thing, is that although we may seem to be mixed as a community, we're not very much. We're still very much so divided, and I think that's a problem, is that although that you and I may live next to each other, we don't consider each other a part of each other's community, and you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's tragic, and it's kind of like the brutal realization and brutal kind of reality that Dr. King's dream is not necessarily fully achieved in 2018.
I agree. Even building off of like neighborhoods, like, you know, that there's so much segregation in neighborhoods still, like whether it be race or wealth, and you know, like the creation of food deserts, like neighborhoods are still very segregated, and that also builds on like, you know, schools and the school to prison pipeline and how that affects our community.
I'm sure that we can all kind of like go on this topic for hours.
Yeah, I know. And I'm realizing 4 minutes already.
Yeah, but we're going to go ahead and jump to the next question. And so we're just going to share a personal dream of ours that has some relation with education or some relation with Dr. King's dream.
So my personal dream is for my fiance to become a U.S. resident, so he can go to Mexico and see his family that he hasn't seen for over 20 years. And for my son to not grow up in this like racist world, to not see the color of the skin, just to be kind to everyone, and for me also, I want to become an ELL teacher to help other kids.
So my dream is to also become a teacher, but I want to be a teacher that helps transform the community. A dream of mine for the community is that that we celebrate our differences instead of people being stifled for being who they are or whatnot. I think that everybody should be able to be who they are and be welcomed who they are. And yeah.
So we're 3 for 3 so far. I wanted to be a teacher. So I also want to be a teacher, and I want to be a teacher that transforms educational spaces for students. I want to be able to be in an educational space where I can tell my students that I love them and have very intentional and almost like romantic and personally intimate relationships with them without that being conflated with sexual desire. And I want to be able to let students know that education is a space where they can grasp any and everything that they want to learn about and be able to use it to empower themselves and do what they want in their futures.
I also want to be a teacher, and I have a dream that I will use my passion to help others, that I can help my students and empower them and strengthen them to become the leaders and dreamers of our future. I have a dream that white people will recognize their privilege so that they can make spaces for people of color so we can create intentional dialogue about race relations in our country.
Yeah, so thanks for the few minutes of your time. Bye.
Bye.